and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And I want to talk about the moral compass. The moral compass. God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. The moral compass. Brothers and sisters, I want to talk about the moral compass. I mean, I really want to talk about the moral compass, because I have trouble understanding why people who know right from wrong intentionally do wrong. I have a problem with that. You might not have a problem. I have a problem with people who know right from wrong and intentionally do wrong. That's a problem. That's a problem for me. Especially when it comes to the church. Did you hear me? Why do people who know right from wrong, who know the rules and the guidelines that governs the church, why do they deliberately do wrong? Brothers and sisters, I remember when people, and especially people in the church, tried to hide the wrong that they did. Anybody remember that? I say, anybody? Y'all ain't been in church that long to know when people tried to hide what they did wrong. I remember joining church as an 8-year-old boy. And the pastor saying that I had to be willing to stop shooting marbles, because shooting marbles was a form of gambling, which meant that shooting marbles was wrong. And so if we was going to shoot marbles, we didn't do it in the church. We didn't do it around the church. And we didn't do it with other kids in the church. Did you hear me? Now people no longer even try to hide the wrong that they do. In fact, they broadcast it. They're on social media. They're on Instagram. They're on X or Twitter. They put it all out there because they don't care who sees it. They don't try to hide the wrong that they do. Brothers and sisters, I remember hearing a minister reference Paul saying, if eating a piece of meat will cause my brother to stumble, Paul said, I will not eat it. And the minister said, if eating a piece of meat will cause my brother to stumble, I won't let him see me eat it. And I thought to myself, who says that out loud? Come on, talk to me, somebody. And then I discovered that apparently a lot of people says it out loud. Are y'all following me? I remember in Bible class, we were talking about the words of our Christ. When Jesus said, if they smite thee on one cheek, turn and offer the other cheek. And this member, because it wasn't a visitor, it was a member. Bless your heart. It was a member. And maybe, I don't know, sometimes I think I fail as a teacher. But this member said, I ain't doing that. If they hit me, I'm hitting them. Come on, talk to me. And I thought to myself, thinking, who says that out loud? Who says out loud that they're not going to follow the command of Christ? And apparently, a lot of people. It leaves me wondering, why do people who know wrong, who know right from wrong, why do those people do wrong? And so somebody told me, said, well, Rev, you don't understand. Everybody don't know right from wrong. You misunderstand. They might not know. Brothers and sisters, can I tell you today, most of us, if not all of us, have a moral compass. Did you hear me? A moral compass is something on the inside that not only tells us what is right and wrong, but also guides us to do what is right and not wrong. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? They are two words, moral and compass. Can you hear me? Moral and compass. Can y'all say it with me? Moral and compass. Moral has to do with what is right and wrong. And compass is the guide to do what is right and not wrong. Moral compass. Moral compass. Moral compass. So, brothers and sisters, do people have a moral compass? Do you and I have a moral compass? Is there something within us that distinguishes between right and wrong? Is there? Well, unless there is a mental illness that prevents it, we all have a moral compass. Did you hear me? Unless, because some people have a mental illness, but they haven't been diagnosed. Did you hear what I'm saying? And every mental ill person is not on medication. Did you hear what I'm saying? Some people are functionally mental ill, which means they can take care of themselves, they can navigate in society, but they always end up doing the wrong thing. You know, back when I was coming up, if a kid exhibited those behaviors, if a kid exhibited that they always did something wrong, the old folk would look at them straight in the eye and say, are you stupid? Come on, talk to me. Ain't nobody. Am I making it up? Come on, talk to me, somebody. Yeah. Unless there's a mental illness, all of us have require a moral compass. And this is where, brothers and sisters, man and woman created in the image of God comes in. Did you hear me? I said this is where man and woman created in the image of God come in, because men and women is a reflection of God. Did you hear me? A reflection of their creator. And as a reflection of God, man and woman is given a moral compass to know and act upon what is right and what is wrong. And then they are given a free will to choose to do or not to do what is right and wrong. Did you hear what I'm saying? Created in the image. God would not have created us without a sense of right. God would not have created man and woman without giving them a sense of what is right. I wish I had. Brothers and sisters, creation.com, that's a website. Creation.com, that's a website. Creation.com, that's a website. Say that Christians believe that we have a moral compass inside of us, given by God to tell right from wrong. They say the sin of Adam broke our moral compass and made it difficult for us to separate right from wrong. That sin broke our moral compass, and sin made our moral compass defective. Did you hear me? That's why people do wrong instead of right. It's a defective moral compass. It's a defective moral compass. But brothers and sisters, I don't know how true that is. Did you hear what I'm saying? I'm not sure that sin made our moral compass defective. I'm not sure that sin made our moral compass defective. I think maybe the attributes by which sin entered may be what makes our moral compass defective. Did you hear what I'm saying? Maybe it's the attributes and not the sin. The attributes are not the sin. You know, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. I think it's the attributes that does it, not the sin. Brothers and sisters, can I tell you that when we talk about the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh and the pride of life, all we're really talking about is selfishness.
Yeah. All right.
Did you hear me? All we're really talking about is selfishness, because selfishness is how people justify and rationalize the wrong that they do. Did you hear me? That's how excuse is all about. It's all about me. It's about me and I. It's about what I want. It's about what I think is right. It's about can't nobody tell me what to do. It is, my thing is, because it don't matter what nobody else's thing is. All that matters is what my thing is, what my thoughts are, what my opinion is. And I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I'm looking out for me. I'm just keeping it real. And I heard the late C.L. Franklin say that the first law of nature is self first. But the first law of grace is others first. It's all about ourselves. When we are left to ourselves by God, when we are left to ourselves by the Holy Spirit, when we are left to govern ourselves by ourselves, we are selfish.
Amen.
That's what you see in the Genesis account. I said that's what you see in the Genesis account. That's what you see with Adam and Eve. You see selfishness. Did you hear what I'm saying? I said you see selfishness. Brothers and sisters, notice the Genesis account. Eve talked to the serpent by herself. Did you hear what I'm saying? Eve talked to the serpent by herself. And then, once she decided to eat the fruit, she ate first. Did you? Did you hear what I'm saying? She ate first. She didn't go get Adam to talk to the serpent. She didn't bring her husband in the conversation. She had a one-on-one conversation, a private conversation between her and the serpent because she was thinking of herself. I wish I had somebody here. And then when she decided to eat, she ate first and gave to her husband second. I wish I had a witness here. I said, I wish I had a witness. You know what? I did a class way back when about married couples. And I had to explain to the husband-to-be that if you and the wife is hungry, you supposed to feed her first. Y'all not going to say nothing? All these women in here, y'all not going to say nothing? All these women in here, y'all not going to say nothing? If the husband and the wife is both hungry, when he get the food, he's supposed to feed her. If he feeds himself, he's selfish. He's only thinking about himself. He's only meditating on himself. He's only visioning himself. But when he gives to her, we shall have a witness here. And Eve's selfishness. Can I tell you? Anybody familiar with the Genesis account? Especially the temptation of chapter 3. Anybody familiar with that? Eve's selfishness preceded Adam's sin. I wish I had a witness here. What I'm trying to tell you is that a conversation with the serpent and her desire to eat before Adam happened before Adam sinned. So I'm not so sure that sin made our moral compass defective as much as selfishness camouflaged it. Did you hear me? One thing for sure. It's hard to get people to do right, even with a moral compass, when all they're thinking about is themselves. Did you hear what I'm saying? That's why you have trouble getting people to do right. Because if they're focused on themselves, they have created their own value system of what is right and what is wrong. And most of what is right pertains to them, and most of what is wrong pertains to somebody else. Y'all not going to hear me. Yeah. Yes, and so, here's the question. I got to go. Here's the question. Are people born with a moral compass? Or is that something they are taught? Did you hear what I'm saying? Are people born with a sense of right and wrong? Or are they taught a sense of what is right and wrong? Come on. Now, I really didn't want y'all to answer. It was kind of rhetorical. I don't know what that means, but I heard smart people use that word rhetorical. Rhetorical question.
Come on, Pastor.
I really didn't want you to answer. I wanted to tell you it's both. Did you hear what I'm saying? It's both. We are born with a sense of right and wrong that is later developed from what we are. Yeah, somebody understand. ScienceFocus.com, that's another website. Yeah, that's another website. Says that although a fully developed sense of morality does not emerge until adolescence, babies show signs of a basic form of right and wrong. It's both. It's both. We are born with a sense of right and wrong, and then that's later developed from what we are taught. PubMed Central, another website. PubMed Central says, although infants and toddlers show behaviors that resemble the moral relevant behavior of older children and adults, they do not judge acts as morally right or wrong until later in childhood. It's both. Did you? It's both. Brothers and sisters, a study was done that showed that the moral sense, the sense of right and wrong, is innate, that it is present from birth. But then there was another study that was done that concluded that we learn morals from our society, from our culture, and from what we are taught. It is both. We are born with a sense of right and wrong that is later developed from what we are taught. And the Bible appears to embrace both. Did you hear me? With man and woman created in the image of God, after the likeness of God, that would be innate. I wish I had a witness here. That would mean that we're born with him. And then with the Lord giving his people the 10 Commandments. Did you hear me? Because the 10 Commandments was a moral compass for the people of God to follow and to teach it to their children and their children's children. It was a moral compass. Brothers and sisters, another word for moral compass is the conscience. The conscience. The conscience. The conscience. The alarm clock that alerts us when we do wrong. The conscience. The conscience, that inner police that arrests us when we do wrong. The conscience. The conscience, the sense of what you're doing is wrong and not right. The conscience. The conscience, that part of the superego and psychoanalysis that transmits command and admonition to the ego. The conscience. The conscience, that part of you that's sensitive to fairness and justice. The conscience, the sense of moral goodness and the desire to do what is right. Shout out to Spike Lee, do the right thing. And the only way your innate moral compass is compromised, the only way your sense of right and wrong gets distorted, is when you are taught contradictory morals. Y'all not hearing me? Because the fact of the matter is, if we would admit it, all of us have been taught some wrong stuff. And that the wrong stuff was right. Come on. Come on. Come on, talk to me, somebody. We've done some things we shouldn't have done. But we done it because we were told that because it was us, it was right. Come on, talk to me, somebody. We have been some places we had no business going. We have slept with some people we should not have slept with. We understood right and wrong, but we were taught by somebody that, oh, it's okay because it's you. You got to do your own thing. You got to shoot your own shot. You only go around once in life. You got to grab all of the gusto. You understand, don't you? And I said, you understand. That's the only thing that changes our moral compass that we are born with. That's the only thing that changes our sense of right and our sense of wrong that we are born with. Brothers and sisters, I have heard people give advice. I'm sure you have too. I've heard people give advice. Child, you got to look out for you. Anybody ever heard that? Come on, talk to me somebody. Y'all making it seem like I'm talking a foreign language. You ever heard that? Child, you got to look out. You got to look out for you. But that's not an absolute. Can you hear me? That's not an absolute. Because sometimes you got to look out for somebody else. I wish I had a witness here. And I'm not talking about your boo, your baby's daddy, nor your baby's mama. I'm not talking about somebody that you're in love with. I'm not talking about somebody that you even care about. I'm not talking about somebody that you're friends with. But sometimes you see a person is down and you have to look out. Only 2 witnesses to that? I said only 2 witnesses to that? Only. Do we have selfish folks in now? Come on, Tommy. Yeah, that's not an absolute that you got to look out for you. Sometimes you got to look out for somebody else. Even when it costs you. Did you hear me? Even when it costs you. So let me give it to you one more again. Everyone is born with a sense of right and wrong. That's the moral compass. And it is later developed from what we are taught. Y'all got it? The only exception is a mental illness or a biological anomaly that interferes with the innate process or interferes with what we are taught.
All right.
Can I get a round of applause? And so, my original question was, why do people who know right? I would like to ask everybody one-on-one. I'm scared. Because people be so. Okay. So the original question was, why do people who know right from wrong do wrong? Why do people who know right from wrong do wrong, especially in the church? And a lot of times we look at our world and we think that our world is crazy, that our world is sinful, that our world don't have a moral compass. All you got to do is stop by the church house. I wish I had a witness here. And you ain't got to stop by this church house. You can stop by any church house. And if you stay there long enough, you will see people who know right from wrong doing, I got to go. So, the question of people doing wrong, even when they know right, is not a lack of a moral compass. It's not that they don't have a sense of right and wrong. But the fact is, that it is the work of Satan.
All right.
Did you hear what I'm saying? He's the adversary of God and man. And he's an accuser of the brother. Did you hear me? And he is the original influencer. Did you hear what I'm saying? Because he was influencing people before social media. Did you hear what I'm saying? He influences the ideals and the opinion of people. Do I have a witness here? And he influences the goals and the hopes of people. Did you hear me? And he interferes with your sense of right and your sense of wrong. Did you hear me? And he has a way of making you think that it's all about you. Did you hear me? Can't you hear Satan whispering in your ear? I will give you the keys to the kingdom, and I will make you prosperous. I wish I had with you, and I will exalt you. Did you hear me? I will make your dreams come true. Did you hear what I'm saying? It all starts with an idea, but it ends up being a plan to separate you from God. Did you hear what I'm saying? I said it all starts out as an idea, but it ends up being a plan to separate you from God. I wish I had a witness here. You cannot put your foot on them because you cannot see them. Did you hear what I'm saying? And I heard Muhammad Ali say, you cannot hit what you cannot see. I wish I had a witness here. Satan cannot make you do anything. He can't tempt you. Did you hear what I'm saying? I said Satan cannot make you do anything, but he can. I wish I had a witness here. I said he can tempt you. Did you hear what I'm saying? That's what happened to Adam and Eve. Did you hear what I'm saying? He did not make him do anything. No. He did not force them to do anything. No. He just tempted them. I wish I had a witness here. And when self becomes your focus. Can you hear what I'm saying? I said when self becomes your focus. I wish I had a witness here. I said when self becomes your focus, sin is sure to follow. I wish I had somebody here. And so when self becomes your focus, sin will surely follow. I wish I had a witness here. When self becomes your focus, sin will surely follow. Did you hear what I'm saying? But I stopped by just to let y'all know there's somebody who loves me more than me. Can you hear what I'm saying? I said there's somebody who loves me more than me. Maybe y'all know him too. It is God. I wish I had a witness here. It is God who commended love toward me. Did you hear what I'm saying? And then why I was yet a sinner, Christ died for me. I wish I had somebody, and I said he who was dead, turn my catastrophe into victory, turn my calamity into peace, turn my disaster into deliverance. I wish I had somebody here. I said he turned my nightmare into morning, turned my darkness into light. He turned my sorrow into joy. I said he, somebody say he was dead, turn my tragedy into triumph, turn my crisis into a blessing, turn my evil into good, because Sunday morning, I wish I had a witness here. Somebody say he got it up with all power, with somebody say he. Somebody say he. He loves me. He loves me. He told me so. He told me so. He loves me. I gotta go. Somebody say he. Somebody say he. Somebody say he. He loves me. He loves me. Is there anybody here who can testify Jesus loves you more than you love yourself? Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. The doors of the church is open. I'm sorry. He loves me more than I love me. So much so, he laid down his life. He laid down his life for me. Greater love have no man than to lay down his life.
Come on, doctor.
He laid it down for me. He laid it. Nobody has ever died for me before, but he did. He did. The doors of the church is open for the reception of members by that of Christian Experience, candidate to be baptized.